see what he can do in the midst of unbelievers, on the leading edge with his word, his power, his grace, and his mercy. For God's sakes, we're Lutheran. This is what we know.
Wittenberg Project. A hot topic that's been going on for probably, I'll say, last 2 years is critical race theory, Marxism, and things of that nature. You won't hear us talk about that much on this channel. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you why I don't talk about it. There once was a man. I'm going to start this off by a little story. Parable-ish type stuff. Once was a man who was beat up and robbed, left bloody on the side of the road. The first guy walked past him, looking like, oh my. The next guy shows up, sees him over there as well. The two guys start talking. Oh, the first guy states, oh, crime in that community is off the charts. Look what they do to themselves. Such savages. Like, the answer is the gospel. We have to get in the gospel. That's the answer to help this guy over here in this ditch that's bleeding to death. I can't believe that it's so tragic what they do to each other. The rebuttal from the other guy is, well, systematic structure in that community is what leads to that crime. And once that's tackled, then we can go and move forward. We have to address that. We have to address the issues that are prevalent that systematically make it so these evils and atrocities in this community is happening. All while they're going back and forth, the guy on the side of the road dies. Now, grim story, you know. That's the way I feel about this CRT Marxism debate. It's a lot of people talking about the issues in the black community, issues and just communities in general that are struggling and historically have struggled due to things in place, due to whatever reason you want to come up with. At some point, if you're truly concerned about helping that person or that demographic, you have to do something. You can't just talk about why you think this is happening. You have to, if you think the answer is just to give him a track and share the gospel with him, then I should see something. I should see some type of activity of you reaching out to that community, especially if you have a ministry and a platform and resources to influence and help these ills of society that you tout, you mention, and you stand up on your platform and talk about. On the other side, if yours is systematic oppression and this is that nature, things that go on to influence and basically create this dynamic, I should see you, if you have a platform or ministry or resources, finding ways to impact that community and things of that nature. I'll be honest with you, most of the time I don't see that loudest voices. I see some, you know, but a lot of times you don't. A lot of times the biggest people involved in this convo, I'll say, the gangs, you don't see nothing. I've even talked to a guy with a big platform and asked him, like, okay, you mentioned all these ills in society, you've studied, you tout that you know your stuff, you know. It's one of the just giving the gospel guys. And literally there was no outreach. I'm like, okay, you see all these things, what are you doing to stop it? I preach the word every Sunday at 9 a.m. and at 11 a.m. Come hear the word. Okay, bro, I get that. But the people you're talking about, I don't think are there. Like, they're outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're in this other community. What are you doing to actually reach those people? Don't sit here and just talk of, are you studying these plights and these issues just to weaponize it? Just to say why these people are as you say, and go off and just rant about it? Or are you actually studying it? If I was a chemistry major and I knew the cure for cancer, and I knew the cause of it, I'm going to be out there trying to give people the cure, or at least communicate how people cannot be influenced by this. That's just like, why else would I delve into it and deeply study it if I really didn't plan on helping people? And I have a problem with we preach to them at the abortion clinic, or I have a prison outreach. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with doing those things, but you're literally waiting until somebody is already caught up in that lifestyle or already a victim of what you're complaining against before you step in. Why wouldn't you be on the forefront so it doesn't happen, to reduce those numbers? Like, why is it that I'm waiting till you're already in jail for a crime and then tell you, oh, you ever heard of Jesus? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're waiting till the stats you want to use to weaponize build up, and then you want to try to. No, man. Like, if you're serious about it, you should be trying to impact the youth so these things curve and don't happen. If you really think and believe you have the answer to these societal ills in certain communities. It's like waiting for someone to have a porn addiction before you help them, before you tell them about the wrongness about it. No, you tell people beforehand the ills and the badness of porn. You try to get involved and put blocks on computers and things of that nature beforehand. You don't wait till somebody is on their way to prison or already has a porn addiction before you give them the solution or answer or know the path they're headed on is a path of destruction. And on the other side, like, I get it. You want to talk about systematic oppression and talk. You kind of are like an ivory tower dude. You're just talking to other people who want to babble about this stuff. But are you actually out there? Now, Whitmer Project, I guess we're somewhat a ministry, you know. Yo, I try to feed the poor. I try to help people, you know, the best I can. I'd like to thank Kofi Main. He gave me and my daughter a donation. Jacob Hollander, Canadian dude. He cool, but he Baptist, you know. Married to Rachel, you know, she's kind of famous, you know. Donated also. A couple other people also, and we were able to use that to actually try to help people. But I don't see a lot of ministries doing that. That's why certain people actually inspire me, like Pastor Carl Day. I mentioned him before on this thing. Doesn't have a huge platform, isn't known from the Atlantic to the Pacific, but in his city, he's actually in the community talking to people, actually ministering, actually trying to help and curve things, trying to reach out. We have to do better. Like, honestly, I think it's just an aspect of people want to talk but don't want to get involved. People want to talk and not get involved. And I don't want to minimize the issue, because there are a lot of worldviews that are dangerous and very damaging, and they should be discussed. But it just seems that a lot of times especially this topic, is just used to shut down conversation. It's just used like, you just throw the insult out there or the term out there to squash, and it derails everything. Like, I've had conversations where, for instance, recently a Lutheran group did a conversation about basically racial inclusivity and stuff of that nature in regards to Lutheran schools. Before they even did their event, certain groups were saying, oh, Marxist this, CRT this, and I'm like, you haven't even heard them yet. You don't even know what they stand for, what their platform, what they're going to talk about yet. But you're already throwing this label out there, basically to dismiss the whole conversation. Like, it's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. It's literally just throwing something out there to derail the conversation and end up talking about critical race theory or Marxist or use labels of that nature. And when you do that, you automatically get people jumping on your side saying, yeah, I hate CRT. The conversation had nothing to do with CRT. So those are part of the reasons why you won't really see us address it too often. I mean, it might come up. Hopefully it doesn't, but it might come up one day. But we got to do better. We got to be willing to have conversations and things of that nature to address real life issues, real life things. God bless Whitmer Project.